Hello everybody, this is part 4 to the rename series Deku's Clone Army. Here we go. Aizawa says, I know I have the cloning kid. And Nezu says, well, that was more obvious than me seeing that you drink coffee. And Eraser drinks a sip, even though that's him proving Nezu's point. But at this point, Eraser does not give a flip. And Ectoplasm says, question, Nezu, are you going to be willing to go through the mentor program? Or at least try to mentor the kid? I was thinking of having Twice be a part of help me with the kid. He's also being a part of going to be one of the staff, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I allow him to be on premises. And Vlad King says, you're allowing that fucking criminal on premises? And All Might says, criminal? What do you mean? Vlad King says, that man is a unstable man that shouldn't even be allowed out of a mental hospital. Ectoplasm says, Vlad King, do I need to say anything to you? No. And the fact that another thing is that if I'm not mistaken, last week you helped a girl a few years ago helped a girl get into UA with a blood quirk. So quit with your nonsense. And Vlad King shuts the hell up faster than he can blink. And All Might says, can anyone explain? Ectoplasm says, basically was this villain that, or honestly he's a good man, Dagoba Obajano, or, well, he tends to change his name, but he generally goes by Twice. He says his name because, well, he just prefers that, but he still has a legal name. And one of the reasons why he's not in prison right now is because I wanted to help him because he had a cloning quirk, where most people with cloning quirks tend to have mental issues with multi-personality disorder, because many cloning quirks do not distinguish one's own person to another. Where, for example, for me, I had a phase in my life where I couldn't distinguish myself than my clones. Most people have that problem at some point in their lives if they have a cloning quirk. And Twice was going down the same road many people with cloning quirks did, was getting arrested and sent to jail, or dying thanks to the fact they don't know how to properly use their quirk. I'm probably one of the best examples of cloning quirk in the entire country. And, well, my cloning quirk isn't really, well, a normal cloning quirk, because many people just call it a hallucinogenic quirk. But semantics aside, I helped Twice. I got him on parole. Basically, he is allowed to use his quirk if basically, he's a paroled sidekick. All Might says, oh, okay. All Might understands completely, because he's actually done, he hasn't actually had a person that was a criminal as a sidekick, but he remembers hearing a few of the older pros back when he was starting out do that a lot, because back then it was more normalized. But nowadays, people distinguish villain from hero super quickly, to the point where being called a villain is a very easy way to lose your job, even if you've not done a dang thing. But All Might says, now, Nez, how do we calculate his points? Well, simple. Each clone is a part of his points. So, doing the math, he has about 259 points. No. You forgot 4. 13 says. Okay, 261 is... And Midnight says, is that just villain points? Yes. Now his hero points. And that is 63, 23. That's 365 points. 365 points? Snipe asks. And Nezu says, I believe yes. Doing the direct math, if each point from his clones owns and every action is based on the character of the original, or I don't know how he classifies his clones. He has 361 points. And All Might says, so he passed. And everyone in the room says, no shit, Sherlock. And Yagi coughs and says, okay. And with Izuku is nervous as bleep because his anxiety has gone through the roof, thinking he must have gotten classified as a cheater because he had too many clones out or something other reason. And Izuku is kind of scared that he doesn't qualify, thanks to the fact that only the points he got, and yes, he got a decent amount, 33 himself, but he doesn't know if that passes by himself, so he doesn't know. And every other clone is saying that everyone did enough together to do it, and when Inko says, Izuku, your entrance exam results came out. And Izuku grabs the exams, goes to a table, and gets as many clones that can fit in the apartment as humanly possible. And Inko says, hey. And they both, the clones that hit her say, sorry mom. And Inko gets to the front where the results are. And Izuku says, okay, everyone, can everyone see this? Not really. Let's just all see it through your eyeballs. Oh, that's a better idea. Izuku snaps his fingers and his eyes turn green. Or basically, they're more green than normally. And Inko says, what? How much has your quirk changed over the years? And Izuku says, oh yeah, the doctor said that every hour I get a new clone, right? Yeah. And also the fact at the time, 50 calories per clone. Uh-huh. Now it's like I can make it to literally every minute or down to every second. And also the fact that it's only about a calorie per clone at this point. / if I do it quickly, I could just use everything in my stomach. That's the reason why I was hungry and tired, hungry as hell when I got home. Inko says, oh. Okay. And one of the clones says to another clone, wait, do you feel that? What do you mean? And in Midoriya City, inside Izuku's clone space, this clone is watching the results and picks up a glass of water and realizes that the glass of water was on the table where he was on the couch and didn't get up to get it. And they both realize that they can all copy quirks. And they both say, no, that's not possible. And they both try it on themselves, and they bonk each other in the heads, and realize that, yes, they both can clone themselves. They can copy quirks. And Izuku, outside the clone space, sees the holodisc, and Nezu is on the thing because, well, Nezu's what everyone else got. And Nezu says, well, Izuku Midora, you got a passing score on the written exam, and to your practical exam results, you got 4 villain points. You got 263 villain points, more enough to pass, but including your but do you really think we wouldn't equivalent points to people that did a hero's job? I very much doubt that. And you got another 100-ish points, and now you have 366 points. Yes, we might have accidentally not calculated every single one, but your clones did take down a lot of robots. In the background, under the recording, they hear a cough. And Nezu says, well, welcome to UA, and you passed the entrance exam, and you're the first of the entrance exam, and the record wielding for the highest point value of the entrance exam in UA history. And Izuku's mouth drops and says, "Why? Why? I'm the number one in the entrance exam." And Izuku hears hundreds of thousands of yes in his head, and Inko is crying with happiness because she's just happy that Izuku's going to be able to do his dreams. And the next week, because reasonably they take time, and Izuku gets his uniform, gets his ID, and heads to his first day of UA and reaches Class 1A. And one thing he got in the mail is a report to go to a office number 443. And he goes to office 443 and realizes that Ectoplasm's office. And Izuku is very interested in other cloning quirks, where, for example, Ectoplasm is a case. But also the fact that Izuku had to come in up to an hour earlier than school actually starts. And Ectoplasm says, "Oh, Midoriya, right, you're here." And Izuku says, "Hello, Ectoplasm, sir." And he says, "No, just call me Ecto, or just call me Ectoplasm or Ecto." And Izuku says, "Okay." And Ectoplasm is in the same room with a man with a suit, a two-piece suit, one that is completely black and white colored, where his mask is black and white. And Ectoplasm says, "Oh yeah, me Twice, my sidekick." And Twice says, "Oh, hello." And the next minute says, "Go away." And Izuku says, "Oh, hi." And Twice says, "Oh, my apologies. Jeez, he's annoying." Gets annoying, and the next minute, Twice says, "No, you're annoying." And Twice bonk punches himself in the face because yes, he has fixed most of his problems, but Twice does have this occasionally pop back up again. And Twice says, "My apologies, that pops up in the most inconvenient times." Izuku says, "Oh, are you the person that was the person that robbed that big bank with 20 clones?" And Twice grimaces and says, "Yeah, I was currently drunk at the time." And Izuku says, Interesting. And Izuku writes everything down from a notebook nobody knows. And many people that know Izuku believe that he gets that from his quirk space, but not even his clones know where the bleep Izuku gets that. And they know him and see through his eyeballs, and they do not know. And Twice says, "Kid, me and Ecto here are going to offer you a basically a mentorship." Izuku says, "Aren't internships after the UA Sports Festival?" and Ectoplasm says, "Yes, but all three of us have similar-ish quirks. And I presume, kid, that you haven't met many people with quirks similar to yours." Izuku says, "Not really. The closest thing I've gotten to was a kid, an upperclassman that can clone himself up to once every 3 days. And only have one clone." And Ectoplasm says, "Yeah, cloning quirks, especially in Japan, are rare. And also the fact that I did some DNA analysis because, well, all three, me and Ectoplasm Twice says that I needed to get tested to have my blood basically identified and stuff. And apparently, you and I are 7 cousins removed. And everyone in the room realizes that they're related to each other, thanks to the fact that that most cloning quirks in Japan, most cloning quirks in Japan are related to one guy, back in the 21st century. Thanks to the fact that cloning quirks that did come up naturally are from foreigners, mostly. But anyway, Izuku says, "Sure, maybe after school. Yeah, we'll send you this permission slip to give to your mother, and we'll see how powerful your quirk is after your Aizawa's health test." And Izuku says, "What?" Twice says, "Nothing." Ectoplasm facepalms and says, "Really? Oh, come on, we can't tell a kid? And Twice says, "Oh no, let him suffer." And Twice covers his mouth and says, "Damn you." And Izuku says, "Interesting. Do you mind if I head to class?" Ectoplasm says, "No, head to class." And Izuku heads to class and has a decent amount of time left because he came here an hour early. And Izuku sees a Mr. Robot Boy in class, and Robot Boy is currently sitting there like a robot, or Izuku didn't truly get his name and didn't really know where he was on the entrance exam, but if apparently he passed, he got enough points to be on the entrance exam. So Izuku says, "Hello," and Mr. Robot says, "Oh, hello, hello, Zukumadoria. Yeah, I think we got off on the wrong foot when we first met. I think that we should properly introduce ourselves. My name is Ida. And he gives his hand out like a robot. And Izuku says, "Oh, hello, Ida." And Ida and Izuku wait for everyone else, and everyone gets there, and Uraraka says, "Oh, cloning boy." And Izuku says, hello. And Izuku, outside of character, we're not doing Uraraka ship. Don't even try. Anyway, Uraraka says, "Oh, thank you for helping me." And then, after people start talking, King, a yellow caterpillar stands up and says, "It took you 4.3 seconds to get quiet. That is too long." And the caterpillar starts to go away, and one of his clones in his mind says, "That's a Racerhead! That's a Racerhead! That's a Racerhead!" And Izuku's mind starts to go on red alert and says, "That's a Racerhead! That's a Racerhead!" And Izuku in his mind says, "Okay, thank you, everybody in my head." And Eraserhead says, "Everyone, get these suits on, and my name is Aizawa Shota. Refer me as Aizawa Sensei or Aizawa Mr. Aizawa." And he gets to the ball field, and everyone gets their uniforms on, and Aizawa says, "Okay, now we're here to do the standardized test you've been taking ever since you were a kid, where basically you're going to be taking one test with your quirk, one test without your quirk. Understand?" And everyone says, "Wait, how about the introductions?" "Yeah, what about the introductions?" "There's no point doing the introductions when it's a waste of bloody time." And everyone goes quiet, and Izuku sees a purple-haired boy that looks kind of nervous, because if he probably doesn't have a suitable quirk, and in Izuku's quirk space, the news of quirks maybe being able to copy quirks is going around, but it's not being contacted to Izuku yet, because it's only 2 clones out of what? Over 700,000? And many of the higher up clones say that's preposterous. And back with normal Izuku, Gu says, "Okay," and someone says, "Oh, this is going to be fun." And Aizawa says, "Fun? Fun. If anyone gets in the last place, they'll be expelled or transferred to a different class. Yes. Or detention." And everyone goes into shock, because that's scary. Getting detention at the lenient, or getting changed to a different class on your first day, or even getting expelled on your first day is insane. And that's a good spot to end this video. I know this is a bit jumbled around, but I hope you guys like this, and well, please like and subscribe, and thank you. Thank you for watching.